Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we are diving deep into something that has, no joke, transformed millions of lives. I'm talking about Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And listen, this isn't about some quick fix life hack. This is the real deal. A guide for building a life of lasting success.
But before we get into it, I've got to ask you a question, and be honest. Do you ever feel like you're just spinning your wheels? You're constantly running, checking things off your to-do list, but at the end of the day, you don't feel like you've actually moved forward? Yeah, that feeling of being busy but not really effective, it's super common.
Well, that's exactly what we're here to tackle. We're going to break down this incredible framework that's all about taking back control. It's about learning how to live a life by design, not just by default. So let's start by looking at what it really means to be effective.
All right, Section 1, a new definition of effectiveness. So what did Covey even mean by effectiveness? Because, it's not what you might think. It's not about productivity hacks or just getting more stuff done. It's way, way deeper than that. Okay, so the core idea here is something Covey called principle-centered living. It boils down to this. Real, lasting effectiveness doesn't come from your personality or little tricks. It comes from your character. It's all about aligning your life, your choices, with these timeless, universal truths. Things like integrity, fairness, honesty. That's the bedrock, the foundation for a success that actually sticks.
And he lays out this really cool roadmap for our growth. He calls it the maturity continuum. Think about it. We all start out as dependent, right? Relying on others. Then, the goal for many of us is to become independent, to stand on our own 2 feet. But Covey says the ultimate goal, the highest form of effectiveness, is interdependence. That's where we learn to work and collaborate brilliantly with others. And these 7 habits, they're the step-by-step guide to get you there.
So let's start the journey. The first stage is what he calls the private victory. This is all about mastering yourself. Because you can't win with others until you've won with yourself. It all starts from the inside out. Habit 1, be proactive. This one is huge. It really all boils down to a single word. Choice. See, reactive people, they feel like victims. They say things like, "Ugh, there's nothing I can do." But proactive people, they're different. They create their own weather. They get that between something happening to them and their response, there's a little gap, a space. And in that space is their power to choose. Being proactive means owning that space and making a choice based on your values, not just your gut feeling. Okay, so once you've taken responsibility with Habit 1, Habit 2 asks a critical question. Okay, but where are you going? This is Habit 2, begin with the end in mind. It's the habit of vision. I mean, think about it. If you don't know where you're headed, you could end up anywhere. Covey has this great idea that everything is created twice. First, you create it in your mind, the blueprint. Then you create it in the real world. This habit is all about getting crystal clear on that blueprint for your life. And Habit 3 is where the rubber meets the road. It's put first things first. This is all about turning your vision into reality. And this time management matrix, it's an absolute game changer. So many of us live our lives bouncing between Quadrant I, the crisis zone, and Quadrant 3, the interruption zone. We're always reacting to what's urgent. But the secret, the place where truly effective people live, is Quadrant 2. This is the stuff that's important, but not necessarily urgent. We're talking planning, building relationships, personal development. This is where the real growth happens. All right, so you've worked on yourself. You've achieved that private victory. Now you're ready for the next level, the public victory. Habits 4, 5, and 6 are where we move from me to we. It's all about shifting from being independent to being interdependent and really mastering how we work with other people. Habit 4 is a complete mindset shift. Think win-win. So many of us are programmed to see life as a competition, right? A win-lose game. If I win, you have to lose. But Covey says that's a dead end. There's also lose-win, where you just give in, and lose-lose, which is just destructive. The only truly sustainable way to interact with people is win-win. It's a frame of mind that's constantly seeking mutual benefit in every interaction. And you can't get to win-win without what Covey called the abundance mentality. This is the deep-down belief that there's plenty to go around for everybody. There's enough success, enough credit, enough happiness. It's the total opposite of the scarcity mentality, which thinks life is a finite pie, and if you get a piece, that means less for me. The abundance mentality opens up a world of collaboration. Now, Habit 5. This might be one of the most powerful communication habits you will ever learn. Seek first to understand, then to be understood.
Think about it. Most of the time when someone's talking, what are we doing? We're not really listening. We're waiting for our turn to talk. We're planning our brilliant reply. This habit flips that script completely. It's about practicing empathetic listening, shutting down your own agenda, and trying to genuinely see the world through the other person's eyes first. And when you really understand others, that sets the stage perfectly for habit 6, synergize. Synergy is, well, it's kind of like magic. It's what happens when you truly value the differences in people. It's not just compromise, where maybe 1 + 1 = 1.5. No, synergy is creative cooperation. It's where 1 + 1 can equal 3 or 10 or even 100. It's about creating brand new possibilities that just wouldn't exist without that collaboration.
Okay, so we've got the private victory, we've got the public victory. Awesome. But how do you keep it all going? How do you prevent yourself from just completely burning out? That's where our final, and maybe the most crucial habit of all, comes in.
And that is habit 7, sharpen the saw. This is the one that fuels all the others. Covey used this great analogy. Imagine a guy trying to saw down a tree for hours, getting nowhere. You tell him, hey, why don't you stop and sharpen your saw? And he says, I can't, I'm too busy sawing. It sounds crazy, right? But we do it all the time. You are the saw. You are your most important asset, and this habit is all about taking regular, consistent time to invest in yourself.
And the sharpening isn't just about taking a vacation once a year. Covey says we need to renew ourselves in 4 key areas. There's the physical dimension, exercise, nutrition, sleep. There's the mental, reading, learning, challenging your mind. Then there's the social/emotional side, building relationships, serving others. And finally, the spiritual dimension, connecting with your deepest values, whatever that means to you. Real renewal is about keeping all 4 of these in balance.
So let's zoom out and look at the whole picture. How does this all fit together to help you live a life by design?
It's a beautiful, logical path, isn't it? It all starts from the inside out. You first gain control of yourself with the private victory. That inner strength then gives you the foundation to build amazing, collaborative relationships in the public victory. And the whole system is powered and kept going by that constant habit of renewal. That right there is the roadmap. So, there you have it. That's the map, a proven guide to living a more effective life, a life built on solid principles. Now the only question that really matters is, what are you going to do with it? Which one of these habits is calling out to you right now? Where will you start? Thanks so much for joining me today.